Hi, I'm Meadow, love and dating writer and coach. My mission is to empower women in discovering their authentic selves, cultivating self love, and building fulfilling relationships that nourish their souls. I'm dedicated to guiding women on a transformative journey towards personal growth and lasting love. Today, I'm going to be reading and responding to a letter from a listener. As always, letters are anonymous. This week's letter reads, Please give me insight. I'm recently separated from a cheating POS, colorful acronym. I was with this man through thick and thin, literally followed him across continents. Gave up a lot, albeit willingly, because it was supposed to be the best for our family. We divorced at the beginning of the year because he was having an affair. Now he's moving in with her, and my child still has to see him while she's there. My child doesn't even feel comfortable in his place now, yet is expected to go when there's a rando living in the home. I have zero respect and trust for him, extremely justifiably, and definitely don't have any of that for her. As a woman and mom of daughters, someone who selfishly breaks up a family doesn't deserve any respect. My child, 15 years old, is in therapy because what the ex has done in the last 5 years. But there's not a ton of progress because the child still has to see him weekly, and it truly feels like one step forward and two steps back. I'm exhausted from having to catch her every single time she comes back. Now, I know I can't include all info because it's going to be way too long. Nevertheless, why is it expected to trust and respect people who selfishly destroyed your families in these types of situations? How in the world does one do that despite knowing that it's just simply wrong on so many levels? How is one supposed to trust a home wrecker with one's child? And I don't know how to be single again. I'm having to rewire my entire life. Tell me I'll be all right. Tell me my child will be all right. Let me just begin by saying, I'm so sorry to hear about the pain and betrayal you've experienced. Honestly, anger, hurt, and confusion are par for the course here, and an important part of your process to healing. Your child's emotional well-being is top priority, and it's heartbreaking to see them struggling. So let's address your questions. Regarding trust and respect, I think it's perfectly normal to feel a lack of trust and respect for your ex and his new partner. Their actions have completely uprooted your life and shattered the foundation of your child's concept of home. Kids are resilient, though, and chances are your child is picking up a lot of their cues on how to respond to this situation from you and your ex-husband. This event and the subsequent years of rebuilding could be traumatizing for your child, and it's likely that their neurotraining is not as honed as yours. What I'm saying is, your reactions are modeling the reaction that your daughter is having. Your daughter is learning her trauma coping mechanisms from you. And I don't say that to impose judgment on you. In fact, I hope that this gives you a glimmer of hope, because this puts you in a tricky situation, but it also puts you in a fantastic situation to help her. I'm no stranger to anger, pain, or honestly full-blown breakdowns. 6 years ago, I found my husband's Tinder account after he stumbled into the house past me and our kids at the breakfast table at 8 a.m. I grabbed his phone to see where the Uber account, which was linked to my credit card, had just delivered him from. Instead, I found Tinder open on his phone with a host of messages from women he had been chatting with and hoping to meet and make plans with. I spent the next 2 years being angry. I was angry that he was so selfish. I was angry that he destroyed our family. I was angry that my life had to radically change. I was angry that I had to embrace the title of single mom. I was scared of how I'd survive financially. And I hated having to do everything by myself. I wanted the kids all to myself, but I resented that I was with my kids every day pulling the weight that was meant for both of us while he partied and dated. I mourned for the dreams and the vision I had for our family that would never come to fruition. I mourned for the plans we made to travel the world and build a house one day. It was the raw end of the deal. There he was with a collection of hot women messaging him and getting to relive his bachelor years while I mourned the life that I thought we'd live, while I was bearing the scarlet letter of single motherhood and struggled to mow the lawn with the broken lawnmower that he promised he'd fixed. It was the pits. And what you're going through today is raw, fucked up, and genuinely unfair. You don't deserve this. You weren't the one who stepped out on your marriage. And unfortunately, this impacts your child too. But in this moment, it's far more painful to you than it is to your child. The outcome of your child's well-being is going to be determined more by the long-term shifts that become normalized in her life from this event, rather than from this event in isolation. Does that make sense? Regardless of how hard it is to focus on anything other than your gut-wrenching pain, your child needs a couple of norms to stabilize her life. Consider these questions. Is she living in a home where she feels loved and prioritized? Are both parents careful to make sure that they aren't saying anything unkind about the other parent in her presence? Bear in mind, I bring that up because she has both parts of you and parts of him in her, and she doesn't need to feel like either parent is bad or that any of her parts are inadequate. Consider, are both households maintaining consistent rules and routines? Things like bedtimes or technology usage, chores. You said she's 15, so maybe establishing clear rules about dating as well. Are both parents maintaining boundaries in her presence? This could be, again, speaking respectfully about other adults in her life and limiting exposure to any fighting between you and your ex or your ex and his new partner. Create a couple of fair but firm ground rules and share them with your ex. You could co-create these with your daughter's therapist based on your daughter's needs. Or, if you can stomach it, you could co-create these with your ex so he's more likely to adhere to those parenting guidelines. Establishing these ground rules is really as far as you need to go with trusting your POS ex and his home-wrecking partner. Whatever else they do is up to them. They're adults and they're responsible for their own decisions, and you have no control over the way they conduct their lives. You can hate them as much as you want with your friends, but it's imperative that you allow space for your daughter to build and grow loving relationships with them. Like it or not, these are the other adults in her life, and the success of her transition into this new life depends a lot on you modeling that mature and respectful transition. I know, that sounds awful. And this will likely not be the last time that you have to model something you don't like or even hate in order to help your child develop a healthy schema for how to move through challenges like this in life. Don't worry, you can still hate them and ruminate on how unfair this situation is with your girlfriends or your therapist. Seriously, get it out of your system. I heard a great quote once that said, "Love isn't measured by how much you receive. It's measured by how much you feel," which means that you feel love when you're the one doing the loving. But the same is true for hate and anger. Your anger is absolutely justified, but it's not something I recommend holding in your body for long term. Don't judge yourself. You can't be anywhere but where you're at with this right now. And the only way out is through it. So feel it. Work through those feelings. See a therapist or join a support group. Get a new hobby that helps you physically move some of that anger up and out of your body, like kickboxing, running, painting, or anything else that channels that energy up and out. Prioritize that for yourself. Now for the good stuff. Your question about rewiring your life and will you be okay? Honestly, this is my favorite part. Rebuilding your life without your ex. This was particularly challenging for me at first, too. Seriously, I hated mowing the lawn myself and reinventing holiday traditions and imagining any of my dreams that I had for my family without my man in it. But instead of seeing all of your dreams as stolen or your life is changed for the worse, imagine your slate has just been wiped clean and you get to reimagine your life the way you want it. You get to build all new traditions, routines, and rituals for you and your now smaller family. My daughters and I used to spend weekend mornings tiptoeing around the house because my ex worked late nights and needed to sleep in. That was the first thing to change. For the first few years after he moved out, Saturday mornings became dance parties, loud, exciting dance parties. We adopted a beautiful German Shepherd puppy who's actually just a few feet away from me. I painted my whole house yellow and I bought pink throw pillows for my couch. I stopped making such meat-heavy dinners because that was his preference, and I started cooking more vegetarian meals, which was my preference. On Friday nights, my girls and I pile into my king-size bed and we watch a movie and fall asleep together. My girls and I also have a New Year's Eve tradition that's way more exciting than anything we ever did when their dad was around. We've been to Myrtle Beach, the Niagara Falls, and even Costa Rica as a family of three. We've had so many adventures and built so many incredible memories. Like I said, this is definitely my favorite part. Every other Christmas, though, my kids go with their dad to Florida, and this is hard. But I've built an entire self-care routine around this. Some years I travel somewhere beautiful and enjoy a little vacation all to myself. Other years, when I can't afford to do that, I plan a regimen of self-care strategies that I love. Yoga, hiking, sleeping in, dance classes, and getting out around town and seeing some live music. My point is, the traditions you build in these early days of your new life will become sacred. Cherish them, lean on them, and let them create a new foundation for you and your daughter. Being single may not last forever either, if you don't want it to. When you find someone, you'll have to release this beautiful life that you've built by yourself in favor of a new shared life with someone new. And that's okay too, because change is the only real constant. But you can keep what you want and you can build new traditions with your new partner, still honoring those co-parenting guidelines that you built with your daughter's father. So, in short, yes, you'll be okay. Your kid will be okay. You don't have to trust your POS ex and that homewrecker. You only have to establish a handful of guidelines and co-create a safe living environment for your daughter. If they don't honor it, your daughter will at least have you to help her navigate this difficult time. Show her how to be the woman you hope she'll become. You won't be perfect at this all the time, and that's okay. Making mistakes and modeling how to overcome mistakes is a powerful parenting tool too. Remember, healing takes time, so be patient with yourself and your child. With time and support, you can rebuild your life and find strength even in the face of adversity. If you need further support, consider reaching out to a therapist or a support group. I'm also offering one-on-one consultations, and you can reach me at karmicmeadowcoaching@gmail.com. Before we wrap up, I'd like to pull a love oracle card for you from my Journey of Love Oracle deck by Alina Fairchild. Today we've got the Burning Hero. And it reads, "For the transformative fires of life's tests, you emerge now, stronger in self-belief, overcoming self-doubt and fear, and shedding the layers that have held you back from burning as a naked flame of divine love. Can you perceive the coolness fast approaching to soothe your fiery, weary soul? Peace is coming to you now, a respite from the fire, before you are ready to burn into love again." This oracle brings you a message. From the heat of your labor, sweet success will arise, and you can act now as if that success had already been made manifest. It is only a matter of time before it's so. From that success, new levels of experience and creative manifestation will take place. You are in a powerful, creative cycle of intensity and serenity, dancing with each other through your heart, like the sweet relationship of day and night. This cycle yields great harvest. Offer yourself in contribution to the greater good, and the harvest will not only be of earthly delight, but of heavenly blessings too. Awesome. I see a lot of connection there with honestly the burning hero. The title of the card itself, I think, represents you. You are burning with rage and anger, and that's okay. But underneath it, you're a hero. You're going to be your daughter's hero as you help her navigate these challenges. And I think there's something beautiful in that. And I like the message in here as well about how peace is just around the corner. I truly hope that some of these suggestions about rebuilding your life and building your traditions and taking joy in that do help bring you peace like it did for me. I wish you all the best and so much luck and love. Thanks for writing in. If you'd like to write to me, please do. Maybe your letter will be the next that we record. You can email me at karmicmeadowcoaching@gmail.com. I'm also offering one-on-one consultations. You can also email me there about availability. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you next time.